Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartellin with another edition of Coach's Corner. This time I'm with my man, Coach Walt DeShields from the West Branch Warriors girls basketball program. Another year and another year of you wearing green, huh, Coach? As you're back for another year with the West Branch girls. What do you see in practices? It's practice season, it's scrimmage season right now. What are some things that are standing out to you about this year's squad?
Well, right now, Ty, we've only had two practices. So, welcome to basketball season and coming out of fall sports. It's a nice thing. Our girls had a lot of success in the fall. Our volleyball team went to the district final, and of course, our soccer team went to the regionals. So, we haven't had too many practices together. We just started last Friday. That first week was, tournament time for them. And I hope that they bring that, to our winter season as far as that success. But just having two practices, and last night we came off of a scrimmage after two practices, so that was interesting. Um, we went up to Green, and Green's going to be a really good team. They got a chance to win the Federal League, and then Walsh Jesuits. So we got an eye-opening experience. We've got a lot of work to do, a lot of questions to answer.
When you talk about some names that we can expect to see on this year's squad and some names that we can expect to see on the floor a lot, what are some names that come to mind?
Well, it starts with our two returning starters. Carter Shepard, she's a senior forward, has been, a three-year letter winner for us, has played through some knee injuries off and on, but she's a real good defensive player for us, and we're expecting her to bring that experience back because we don't have a lot of experience. We lost a lot from last year. And then Audrey Eaton is a sophomore, really talented guard for us. In fact, she brings the most points to the table for us. Real good shooter, ball handler, very intelligent, smart player for us. So those two in particular as starters, we're counting on them for their experience. We had several girls come off the bench, and all of them need to step up this year, especially at the offensive end. Right now, we think we could be pretty good defensively, but we got a long way to go offensively, and that's where we're going to have to really improve. Other seniors, Presley Egley played for us off the bench last year. Maddie Hawk is a senior that played off the bench for us last year. And then some juniors that I'm really excited about. They kind of as freshmen played because we had a lot of injuries their freshman year. So they got some varsity time. And then last year we were really healthy. So they kind of took a back seat to last year's seniors and kind of played more JV. But that freshman year, I think, has helped them with confidence coming into this year. And our juniors, Tali Munez is a center for us that we expect big things for her. She's a 6-foot center. Still gives us that size. Hallie V. Burton, a 5'10" forward, is a junior. She is another one that can score. Both of them are talented offensive players that played well this summer for us. Some other juniors. We got a transfer in from Louisville that played some varsity for them last year, was a letter winner for them, Sammy Beatty. She's a guard and is looking good so far in the preseason. Just kind of met her a little bit. She come out of soccer, so she's going to be able to play the first half of the season for us and is a good player. And then Allie Kanegi is another junior that's, played off and on varsity JV and as a point guard. And then finally, Ellie Tucker as a sophomore played off the bench for us as well last year. So we have 8 returning letter winners. And then one transfer that we're looking at. Another girl that we're looking at is Eleni Bacconi. Eleni is a sophomore as well, a shooter off the wing. And, that's what we're kind of looking for. We're looking for somebody that can knock some shots down.
When you talk about coaching in the area, I always say you're one of the best at getting the best out of your girls too. And whatever product you have and whatever group of girls you have for that year, you do the best at getting the best out of them. Mostly because you could play to your team's strengths. And when you talk about this year's strengths, what are some strengths you're going to see from this team that you guys are going to have to play to get your wins?
Depth and speed. We feel like we're going to have to play full court this year. Last year's team, we could put 6'2", 6'2", 6'1" on the floor, and we kind of walked it up and just pounded it on people inside. And then defensively, our length hurt a lot of people with half-court defense and half-court traps. This year's team, we're going to look to run. We're going to look to, push it up and down, press up and down, get that movement a lot quicker, look to score quicker, look to, get some traps in the full court and half court and speed the game up and be able to maybe wear teams down. We're not going to look super impressive walking through the door in the gym because, compared to last year, we're a lot smaller. But the thing that we're excited about is this team is playing faster. And as soon as they get used to playing that speed and, be able to not play in a hurry but play fast, I think we can do some good things.
Talk about your guys' chances in the conference, too. It's always a tough EBC, one of the tougher basketball conferences in the entire area with the competition up and down it. How do you guys see yourselves fitting in the conference play this year?
Well, it's going to be different this year. We've got 3 new coaches out of 6 teams, so that preparation is going to be a lot different. You kind of get used to coaches and what they do. Minerva is the same coach, and Alliance is the same coach, but Marlington, Carrollton, and Salem all have brand new coaches, and so that's going to be a lot different. I feel like, last year there was a good senior group, a lot of talented players on each team, a lot of superstars that average almost 20 a game, with Sophie Gregory and the Evanich girl from Marlington and Hutton from Salem. And those are names, Ty, as we get back into basketball season. And, I always say you guys do a great job. And I know it's basketball season. When YSN's out there, you guys do a great job with girls basketball. And, once you called me for this interview, I knew it was basketball season, even though we don't had 2 practices, and football is still playing here. So our football team's always done great here the last few years in the playoffs. But so we're kind of getting that transition between the two. But in the league's going to be very interesting. I think most of the teams are all pretty close. So every game's going to be competitive.
I mentioned your ability of being able to get the most out of your players too. What's your secret in being able to do that? I mean, these are high school girls. They have their own set of challenges that they each go through, right? I mean, they come from different backgrounds. They have their own personalities. How do you find a way to connect with each one of them and get the most out of each one of them?
Well, I think a lot of it is just, getting to know them relationship wise, knowing what button to push, and how hard to push it, and then care about them. And as long as they know you care about them and you have their best interest and you compete together as a coach and as a player and as a team, then, you've got something there. And we've got good, hardworking girls out here. They know the tradition of our program. They know during their 4 years up here in high school, they've got that torch to carry. And maybe that's a good or bad thing because we always got a lot of bullseyes on our back. That question of who do we circle on our schedule? Really nobody. Everybody we circle on our schedule because everybody circles us. And they always want to beat us pretty bad with our tradition. So these girls know that they have to work hard and put a lot of time in the gym and in the weight room and with shooting or whatever it takes. And, I think they always kind of take to heart the program's tradition and try to defend that and always kind of have something to prove and make people believe that no matter what we graduate, we still got talented players coming every year.
I know you did not single-handedly build the tradition, but in your experience, is it harder to build the tradition or maintain a tradition?
I would say it's probably harder to maintain it. Once you're on top of that mountain, you can get knocked off pretty quick. And if you don't work hard at it and put a lot of time into it and have kids buy into that philosophy and that culture, keeping it going is always tougher. Because I've seen some programs that have, been winning for a while, and the next thing you know, they're not very good and they're bad for several years. And I know has a lot to do with talent. As a coach, you're only as good as your talent. There's a lot of difference between the Jimmies and the Joes, but and we all know that. But you work hard with what you have and you try to get the most out of them.
When you talk about you guys, your team as a tradition too, I always feel like the non-conference schedule goes a long way, and you guys always schedule up. You guys always have a tough non-conference schedule. In this year's particular non-conference slate, what are some matchups that you're excited for the girls to be tested against?
Well, in our non-conference, there's a lot of matchups. I mean, we're focused on Norton right away. Norton's girls basketball, Brian Miller up there does a great job in winning tradition as well. We start off the season on a Friday night, November 22nd with them. We play several bigger schools, Fitch, Boardman. We got Lake this year out of the Federal League. And so being a Division IV school now has changed things quite a bit. The 7 divisions. Kind of saw that with volleyball. Even soccer went to 5 divisions instead of 3. So we're now in kind of like that football mode where there's a lot more divisions, opportunities in the tournament to be successful. And we've always been kind of successful here in tournaments, but it's going to be different on who's in our division and what we're looking at there. But certainly playing bigger schools like that, we have Ursuline, we got Mooney. It's tough to find people to play because a lot of times people don't want to play us because of our past. And so some people steer away from playing us, but we play a lot of good schools. Canfield, that's our rival outside the league. We lost to them at the buzzer last year. That was one of our 3 losses. The other 2, you can't put your head down at all. We lost to Olmsted Falls, who won the Division I state tournament last year as the state champions. And then we lost to Laurel in the tournament, who was Division II state runner-ups. So that's our 3 losses last year, Ty. And that, playing that non-conference schedule, no doubt will get us ready for the tournament.
I know not all the girls had maybe the starter varsity experience that you bring back last year, but what is that type of run and playing those type of opponents and having the experience you guys had last year? What does that do for the girls that are returning this year too, and helping set that standard and give them kind of that blueprint of what you want to be?
Well, they kind of see what it takes to be successful, but until they get in there and get game experience and go through those battles, they don't know. I know there was a couple comments last night, after playing Green and Walsh. They're both talented teams and physical teams. In the comments was, it's not that physical in practice, and it's not. It's not that fast in practice. So you have to get that game experience and go through those ups and downs, of having some success in the game, having some failures in the game, and learning from those failures. The key is learning and getting better. And everybody always uses that cliche, let's get better every day. Every day in practice, we're trying to improve, and everybody wants to play their best basketball at the end of the season. Well, these girls saw that last year. They saw that even our team last year at the beginning got much better as the season went on, got much better as the tournaments arrived. And we were playing our best basketball at the end. And that's what it takes, is that daily, grind, that daily, hey, let's enjoy and love the process of getting better.
One of my theme questions this year goes back to the lessons that basketball can teach. You're one of the teachers in the sport. You've taught countless young ladies the sport of basketball in your tenure there at West Branch. But I'm actually curious, what's the biggest lesson the sport of basketball has taught you?
Life. Life. You have your ups and downs in life. Life is not easy. And once you get out there and you got to start working, and you have families and their mothers someday, and they got to provide for their kids and things like that, I think basketball just teaches you to get through tough times and to keep working hard and having a positive attitude no matter what happens. There's so many, and that's what I love about sports. That's what I love about coaching is, you get those relationships. You see girls go on and they get married and have families, and they're successful in the world, with working and all those kind of things. That to me is great. The other night I was excited, to maybe see Sophie Gregory on the floor of there at YSU, but the lights turned out. So, but just seeing girls move on and teaching them those lessons and those values and how to do things right.
Before we let you go, Coach, I also want to give you that chance. Just shout out the coaching staff, those around you, just any other big names. I know it doesn't change a whole lot usually from year to year, but I want to give you that chance to still spotlight the big names in the West Branch girls basketball program.
Yeah, we keep that coaching staff going. We may have the oldest coaching staff in the whole entire state of Ohio. Maybe I shouldn't say oldest, most experienced.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with my assistant, Bob Shepard. Bob's out on the football field right now trying to beat Glenville on Friday night, so he's not in the gym yet. And that's his daughter, Carter, as a senior. But Bob's been with us a few years. He was actually with Chuck Campbell prior to that, so he's been coaching here a long time. He is rehired as a teacher, just like me. And so the next is Lou Celeroli. And if you haven't known Lou, I mean, Lou was with the boys program. He's been with the girls program. He's been at West Branch for over 40 years. He now cuts grass, so it's his job to leave that grass really, really high and maybe bring in the hoses for Friday night and slow Glenville down a little bit. Just having some fun with that with Lou. But Lou's just a great job. He's coaching our JV team. And then also Mike Butcher. Mike Butcher's been with the program 37 straight years. He's seen every team that's gone to state. He's seen a lot of success. He's seen some teams that have lost. And so Mike brings, a lot of wealth of information to us. I mean, every one of us have 30 plus years of coaching or teaching. Also in the middle school, Chris Adams has been with me every year in the 7th grade, and Tony Lucente is our 8th grade coach. And I've got to give a shout out to my wife. We call her the Dobo, which is the director of basketball operations. And without that, I can't do what I do. We've been married 29 years. We got 3 great sons. Actually, my oldest son is coaching at Boardman this year. Boys, thank goodness. He's not going against me. But I get a chance to see him coach a little JV basketball over there at Boardman. And he's substitute teaching at Boardman. We're having fun right now with TJ, our middle one. He's at Mount Union as the backup quarterback. They're having a great season. They got a big game Saturday against Marietta. And then Drew is at Kent State, football scholarship there. He's had some issues with his knees, but eventually Drew's going to play. He's a dynamic athlete and just fun to watch him grow. Just like, again, our players from their freshman year to their senior year. And then after that, alumni, just to see them all grow and become young ladies. That's what this program is all about. And family, that's our first thing on our word wall this year is family. And I love that. The Carter Shepard came up with that, and we're trying to build a culture wall for our locker room, and family is the first thing to go up. And it not only includes the basketball family I have over 20 years of being the head coach, but my own immediate family and friends and relationships I've made, as a teacher, as a coach. That's, the greatest thing that I can keep for memories.
Well, we love having West Branch as a part of the YSN family, and we love having the DeShields family as a part of the YSN family as well. Yeah. Coach, last question for you. You mentioned Norton on Friday, November 22nd. That's your opener, too. I know the West Branch community of Beloit always likes to come out and support the Warriors, but let them know why they need to come out and support you. And also with that, too, basketball always brings in Thanksgiving. The start of high school season's right around it. Shout out your favorite Thanksgiving dish with that.
Oh, no doubt about it. It's stuffing. All right.
That's been the number one consensus pick across the board. Better.
I mean, I'll go turkey, mashed potatoes, and gravy, but the stuffing with some gravy on it, that's the best. That is the best. And, hopefully, we have to move that Norton game. Maybe our football team will be still playing on a Friday night. That'd be great. But our community does support us tremendously. We have great fans home and away. I know they'll come out and watch these girls play. These girls will play hard, and that's the biggest thing. They're going to play hard every night and give everything they have.
Well, Coach, we're looking forward to it. I know in due time I'll see you out there on the hardwood here real soon, and best of luck this season. I'm just excited to see how this team grows from game 1 to game 22.
Yeah, thank you, Ty. And you tell Anthony, why I don't understand why he's not on this interview.
He said he'd be here. I don't know why he's skipping out on you. I don't know. Maybe.
Is he a Chiefs fan?
Yeah, he is.
Just let him know, and I'm sure he may watch this, but let him know they almost got beat the other night in overtime. I was kind of hoping for Baker Mayfield there. I'm a Dolphins fan. So if the Chiefs would have lost, I'd have worn my sweatshirt that had Dolphins colors, and it says perfect, because the 72 Dolphins have been the only undefeated team in NFL history. And I'm hoping the Chiefs lose at least one game. I could care less. Patrick Mahomes is a great player, and Kelsey and all them, and Swifty. But you know what? They got to lose one game to keep my Dolphins undefeated, season alive.
You got to tell Anthony he's got to get one of those zebras off of the Chiefs team, though, that are on the field every week.
That's right. He's paying those guys good money.
Thanks, Coach.
All right,
I appreciate
have a
you.
good one. We'll see you.